What I'd like to know is whether Malone himself said whether he'll be doing any of that consolidating, as many people expect.
Yeah, exactly. He's been leading the headlines. A lot of people have seen the Bloomberg News reporting on his urging of Charter and Time Warner Cable to get together. I mean, through his stakes in a lot of these cable companies, he's able to, use his muscle a little bit. His general theory, Erik, has been that the industry could use some consolidation. I mean, the biggest player is Comcast and still only has about 20% of the overall market. So if some of the smaller players get together, it gives them that much more scale. It was also interesting, though, to get his perspective on the satellite players DirecTV and Dish. He was speaking with reporters, including myself, earlier this morning. I pulled out my iPhone to get him on camera, and here's what he had to say about that possible idea.
I also think it would be good, by the way, if DirecTV could combine with Echo or Dish or whatever Charlie calls it now. Just because scale economics in the media business drives down costs and makes it possible for larger investment. So to me, in order to improve the services to the consumer, you need larger, I'm not saying monopoly players, but you need larger players.
And we figured we'd show you the reaction in both of those companies to those Malone comments. He is a heavyweight, and when the heavyweights speak, there is oftentimes a stock market reaction. Guys?
John, you've been breaking news out there in Sun Valley about what's going to happen to HULU, and I gather you talked to Malone as well about HULU because he's an investor in the companies that might soon be owners of HULU.
Sure. I mean, you think about DirecTV and Time Warner Cable, both of which have different strategies, by the way. DirecTV would like to buy all of HULU. Time Warner Cable would like to buy a portion of HULU. And he seems to be more in favor with that idea, the idea that a group of cable companies owning an asset like HULU maybe goes back to that idea of having scale. However, we also spoke to Michael Eisner, the former CEO of Disney, yesterday, and he said he kicked the tires on HULU and wasn't sold, in part because he's concerned about the long-term licensing rights. Here's a snippet of what Michael Eisner had to say to us.
The sellers, Disney and the other two owners, NBC and so forth, Fox, are selling it and taking away basically the next day ability of their content. They're giving them something for a couple of years. So anybody that's buying it is buying it with the dream that they can be Netflix.
There you go. I will say there are some HULU headaches because there are a lot of media executives getting constant questions from the media about what's happening with HULU. It's been one of the key stories here at Sun Valley.